8:08. It's time for Island Tea. It's another hump day. What's up, Daisy?
Hey, good morning, Jamsa. How you do? Good morning to everybody who is listening this morning on Win FM Island T. It is the 18th of October. Wow, the month is quickly passing. I want to share a quote with you this morning. It says that if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. And that's by Oprah Winfrey. And it says again, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. That's by Oprah Winfrey. This morning, I wish to, send, condolences to, loved ones, Stanley Franks. He's a cousin of mine. I wish to express sympathy to the family, friends. He passed yesterday. Stanley was on Island T this year.
So it was the Labor Day weekend, man.
Yeah,
Like the Friday, I think it was.
Yes. Yeah, and we had a very fruitful discussion in here about, the trade unions, the birth of them here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the work that they have been doing. It was just around in May, that time that this year that we spoke, all of us in here, and to learn of his passing yesterday, is truly saddening.
And I mean, he was always been it's always been somebody I respect. Had a lot of respect for. He was always a fount of knowledge. I always, whenever we had him here, I mean, back in the Clive Bacchus days, even, it was always something you could like. You could almost pull up popcorn and okay, this is going to be good. And it's not salacious stuff. It's always educational and entertaining too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, he was he was one of the he was the original logistician for the St. Kitts Music Festival. He was the one that was he was the one that had the first administrator of like sites, setting up the sites and making sure things like, utilities and so were installed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was a man who wore many hats. You look at him; he's involved in this, he's involved in that. So many things.
Football. He used to football. Well, I when I got to know him, he used to be a football referee. So I imagine he used to play football before that too.
Yeah,
and cricket too, probably.
Yeah. And then yesterday too, last evening, I heard of the passes. We learned of the pass of Jason Thomas. Government.
Really?
Yeah, he passed. And, he contested the 2020 elections. He ran in constituency number 4 as an independent candidate. So I want to say to those persons, family, friends, well-wishers, all of you out there, condolences, Wow.
I didn't know about that one. Wow.
Yes. In addition to that, from the village of Old Road, Nurse Williams, she passed sometime, not recently. Her funeral is still to be had on Tuesday, I'm told. But I just want to express condolences to the family of Mrs. Williams in Old Road. It's really a saddening time. I knew her from, she always attended the Ebenezer Methodist Church in Old Road, and she was always, a very genuine and generous individual, and I do express my condolences to the family at this time, knowing that she has passed.
Yeah,
I have just reading.
I'm just seeing this now.
Yeah, I'm just reading as well. The chief prison officer, Alton Liebert, I'm seeing here saying that we are deeply saddened to announce the passing of Her Majesty's prison officer, Alton Liebert. So Mr. Liebert too has passed, based on the correspondence that I am now seeing being shared. And wow, so many individuals. Wow, yeah. I just want to to Mr. Leibert's family, I want to also express condolences and sympathies on the passing of your loved one and family member. It's October, yeah. It's and all those persons who have lost loved ones, I say to you, condolences, and I do hope that God gives you the comfort and strength that you need in this time of, grief and bereavement. It is, it's all a sad note. With his life, there's also death. And the U.S. president is in Israel as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my way here, I was just listening to a live broadcast. He is speaking, on the news with the Prime Minister of Israel.
Exactly. Except that he was apparently there was supposed to be a meeting of Arab leaders in Jordan. And because of this hospital bombing, they had to, and he was supposed to be there as well. And because of that, they've decided not to have it again. I don't know if I don't know if it's a plot thickens type of thing where probably everyone is assuming that the Israelis did it. The Israelis are saying it was Islamic Jihad. That's another group, another Palestinian, I guess we could say terrorist group.
Yeah. And even in his speech that he was delivering, the president, he indicated that Hamas doesn't represent the entire Palestine, is a group.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate, the chain of events and the impact that it has on the world, the impact that these attacks and actions have globally. We're seeing Ukraine and Russia, and now we're seeing that incident occurring. And it's a really unfortunate situation.
The thing is, last night I was reading a thread on Twitter, right? Back and forth. One person saying, "Oh well, if you look at the hospital, if you look at the aftermath of the hospital bombing, you can see that was a small bomb. That couldn't have been a missile." And then someone says, "Oh well, I was watching Al Jazeera and I saw when the missile came over, and that the missile came over from Gaza, so it has to be Islamic Jihad." So back and forth, some people are saying, "Oh, it's the Israelis who did it." Then I was watching CNN last night. Someone was saying how there was one time there was some bombing or something, and the Israelis had denied it, and then eventually they said, yeah, it was them. But that was a case where, that was a fog of war type case where they were pretty sure it wasn't them, but then it turned out that it was like a mistake type thing, and they admitted to it. But I don't know what to believe.
There's
personally,
so many
I don't see any. And here's what makes matters worse now. The Hamas is famous for putting military infrastructure right inside of civilian installations like schools and hospitals and factories and stuff like that. So what happens in that case? I mean, if you bomb a school because your intelligence tells you that, okay, there are tunnels under there and that's maybe where they have a weapon cache or something, what Hamas is going to, see, they're animals, they're bombing schools, they're bombing hospitals. But maybe you had, we still don't know, no one has said whether this hospital is a military site. It's funny how that information hasn't been forthcoming yet, because if it turns out that that's the case, it'll probably point to Israel, right?
There's so many takes on these situations that are happening, so many point of view, so many discussions that you really have to look at so many different sources to generate as what I would say maybe the most, I don't want to say truthful, the most objective, lack of a better term, to get a real opinion on what's happening, because depending on where you go, they're going to be someone's point of view on the matter. It's really something.
And all sides, usually have a very compelling way to make their case. So you're like, boy, who do I believe?
Yeah.
Because like I read that thing last and oh well, I was watching Al Jazeera and the missile came in behind the reporter and it came from Gaza. Yeah,
It's
that sounds pretty convincing, right?
they're very convincing, and that's what I'm saying. Even looking and trying to look at the, okay, then this is one article or one video, and this taking this perspective and another perspective, and then you look at all the factors, and you really have to try to address it from looking at different sides to see what is the consistent message.
Yeah, at least I must say, from the little I've seen of MSNBC and CNN, well, not little, I've probably seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be making a good, I have to say, a good effort to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're hearing from the Palestinian side,
mm-hmm.
and you're hearing from the Jewish side,
yes,
the Israeli side, and so on. So at least they're trying. I remember those days when it was all, there was this basically wholesale othering of the Palestinians, where everything that happened, it's all
mm-hmm.
it's all about the Israelis and their humanity, and you never heard anything about the Palestinians and their humanity.
Yeah.
Granted, they choose to exercise their humanity differently, right? So.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the discussion is, for those persons who are interested in knowing what is happening, try to look at news sites. The U.S. president is in Israel, and based on what I was looking at, giving a presentation live. So if persons want to hear more about what is happening, they could try to get, there's so many different platforms that can be used to get that, to view that. Based on what I'm understanding as well, looking at the Caribbean islands, it's saying that Caribbean islands monitoring approaching weather disturbance. So the system has potential to bring flooding to portions of the Lesser Antilles. And it says interest in the Lesser Antilles have advised to monitor the progress of a weather system in the central tropical Atlantic. So
yeah, that's just one I'm here looking at. It's supposed to probably affect us around Friday, Saturday, according to this.
Yeah, it said over in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Met Services and NEMA continue to closely monitor the progress of Invest 94L as it moves across the Atlantic Ocean towards the island chain while showing signs of organization. The Met Service says conditions are expected to become more favorable for a development and a depression is likely to form in the next day or so. The developed cyclone may influence the weather in St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday or Saturday. Residents have been urged to closely monitor its progress throughout the week. Mm-hmm. So, guys, there's weather.
So we're clearly not out of the woods yet, huh?
Not yet. Not yet at all.
Well, so we have coming up at 8:30. We're gonna be having our first guest for today.
It's
Cairn High School
the
Alumni Association.
Yeah, and they call themselves CHS Best. Yes, CHS Best.
And the running competition with Sandy Point.
We're gonna see. They say SP where the best be.
Yeah.
Yes, SP where the best be. Yes.
I remember for the longest while I thought you were from Sandy Point. Before I knew you, I always thought you were from Sandy Point.
Well, my father lived in Sandy Point, and I have aunts. I have aunt who lives in Sandy Point.
So I used to go. There goes another.
Mm-hmm.
There goes another arrogant Sandy Pointer. No.
I guess I could be. I wonder if my father grew up in Sandy Point, I might have Sandy Point.
But honestly, right? Like I always say, if St. Kitts were the USA,
yes,
Sandy Point would be Texas. No, seriously. I mean,
Texas was that
kind of that kind of attitude, that kind of.
And you hear it when you come from Sandy Pointers, and they'd still play on it.
So what state would Cairn be, you think? Attitude-wise and maybe personality.
That's a good question. What state would you give them?
It's hard to say. But I know I always think of Sandy Pointers as the Texas of St. Kitts Nevis.
That's true. What state would you give Bastille?
Bastia. Well, I guess Bastia could be any of the big main, maybe one of the former 13 colonies, maybe. I guess New York.
New York.
You know, Biff. People like Biff. They're gonna be you think we were like Texans? Huh?
You're giving Bastia New York. Yes.
No, because Texans are really, they have big personalities, just like the state. You know, it's crazy.
Yes. And you know the talk, about independence and Texas being on its own and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sandy Pointers, they're famous for saying wanting secession. I've had Sandy Pointers make jokes about.
I've had persons I know.
It's funny.
Who resided in Sandy Point with the same joke while I was in sixth form. I understand, because in sixth form you have a melting pot of all the persons who, come from different high schools. We have a caller?
Well, not at the moment, but I was trying to. There were 2 calls coming in. I was trying to squeeze in a call before we put on our first guest.
Yeah.
8:25. Let's try it. Let's try it. Caller, go right ahead. Island T.
Yes.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Nice to know the phones are working.
Yes.
The phone ring till you ring out.
Yes.
Oh, we had a flow guy here yesterday, so he maybe he did something
I might
too.
agree with you when you say Sandy Point might be the Texas. But I one time at a youth forum, a long time ago, they used to describe Sandy Point and Nevis alike. Same kind of attitude and so forth. Long time ago.
Yeah.
I used to be with youth clubs and that kind of thing, long time. Not like where you are now. That's stupidness now. Anyway, last year people had a sense of superiority complex. Up to this day, but not like before. Even when I started walking, you used to have a display of that attitude. But I used my intelligence on them, and I used to tell them, listen, Bratcher came out of the real country, and you all cry behind him and call him Papa. But I don't do that. So that was my way of lashing back. I never feel inferior to anybody. And my father used to tell us, and mother used to tell us something about being confident, and I pass it over to my children. Never feel inferior to anyone, but be respectful. Now, one last thing. Mr. Gumbs?
Yes.
You used to be a preacher, I believe, right?
Well, I preached before. Yeah, I preached before. Yes, I preached.
You're a Bible man.
Yeah. What are you saying?
What's happening in the Middle East? In spite of the disobedience of the Jewish people.
I'm not going to let him forget this afterwards, huh?
Israelis. God always bail them out.
Well,
and the Bible tells us there was a fighting season, but a season for fighting, for war. Because based on the story there with this guy who David took over this man's wife. in the arraignment there, you would remember that.
Yes.
But if you follow the history come down, with you shouldn't be surprised with what happened in the Middle East. George Bush Jr., George W. Bush, called a number of countries in the Middle East and so forth, axis of evil. And it's as if these countries they can't do nothing else but develop evil. They're just bloodthirsty. So you should realize that looking at the Bible, look back at some of these kings and kingdoms and so forth and see the things that they do, what they're trying to do with people who want to be progressive. I am a supporter of Israel. I believe in Christianity, and I believe the good Lord has a part to play in these conflicts. And the Bible says, that God will support a number of these things because you got to defend yourself. You can't allow a man to come in and because you believe in God and trample you and try to eliminate you, as Iran made a statement a long time ago that they want to wipe Israel from the face of the earth. But Remember?
Okay, caller, you have to wrap it up because we have our next segment.
Well, you always run me off the radio, and I got people that be talking. How could they?
I wasn't running you. I was just saying, wrap it up. I was giving you 30 seconds or so. But you still there?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the caller for calling in, for sharing your opinion. We have a guest, some guests at 8:30. Also, I see the caller is making the reference to, the Bible. That's a debate out there, whether or not this conflict is one of religion. And, there are persons who express the views that, it might be more than religion, Jamsa, you think that this contention is on religion? I mean, a lot of persons do.
As I told you, I don't know if you saw what I put in the chat this morning. We were having a discussion.
Yeah.
I read, I think, over the weekend that the reason why the Israeli government allowed Hamas to be formed is because they started as a religious organization, and the Israeli government's rationale was, well, they're a religious organization, so they should be easier to reason with. And they allow them. So I don't know what religion has to do with terrorism and killing people. Yeah. So that's how I and this is a problem. This is a problem with Islam. These people talk about God, Allahu Akbar, and all this stuff, but look at all the bloodshed they've caused, and continue to cause.
That's why I think one cannot just say the blank statement of religion. That's my view.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it doesn't pardon from, But, I mean, it's a debate and persons do share their opinion on the matter, like we do as well.
But, we're going to be having this religious... I didn't realize you're a preacher, so...
Okay. I'm not a preacher.
So,
I preached before.
He said you're a preacher, so...
I'm not a preacher. I preach before.
So are you... Okay.
Yes, let's go into the 8:30, guys. We're going to have CHS Best in the building.
He's got a lot of talent there.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
This is a public service announcement.
Brace yourselves for the ultimate shopping extravaganza that you've been waiting for. Get ready to be blown away because double cashback coupon season has officially landed at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Can you feel the excitement in the air? It's that magical time of year when Horsford's paves the way to your dreams by giving away millions in free groceries with every Flex Pay Higher purchase.
But wait, there's more to this phenomenal offer.
Hold on to your seats because this is your chance to win an entire year of free groceries through the exhilarating Double Cashback Season Double Cashback Promotion. Wait, did I mention it's Double Cashback Coupon Season at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store? Don't delay, come in today before it's too late and snatch up your Double Cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
8:33, and we've got our first guest of the morning.
Yes, it's
All about the Keon High School.
CHS Best. And we have two members of the Alumni Association here, and we have one on air. So we have, well, three are on air. Two on air. Okay, awesome. So we got two of them, and four. So it's four in all, two in studio, and two via the phone line. And so I'm going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves at this time.
Good morning, I'm Bertram Pennyfeather. I'm the president of Keon High School Best, is the name of our team.
I'm Glenroy Blanchett, PRO.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're still connecting with the individuals who are on the phone, and so while we have one. Okay, let's go ahead. So we're going to tell us more about the organization. Tell us more about CHS Best. Yes.
Okay, CHS Best. Good morning to our listeners and to our Keon High School family. The name of our group is Keon High School Best. And the Keon High School Best, in the sense, the word best in the sense there doesn't mean the actual best. Best there means anyone who went to Keon High School, anyone associated with Keon High School. For example, if you went to Keon High School and you drop out in 2 weeks, you're still part of Keon High School Best. Mm-hmm. If you assistant teacher for 2 weeks, you're still part of Keon High School Best. The janitor is still part of Keon High. Anyone associated with Keon High School, we call it Keon High School Best.
Awesome.
So that group, we are registered as a NGO in St. Kitts. We also registered in the U.S. as a nonprofit organization. And we are going to be doing an event at the Keon High School on the 26th and the 29th. That's next week Thursday and next week Sunday, where we will be doing, it's called Honoring Our Educators, where we'll be starting with honoring our principals from the time the school began in 1971 onto the current principal. So we are excited about that. We are inviting everyone. We are inviting all the alumni to come there too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see. We have persons on the phone line.
Yeah, we have the two alumni on the phone line. So can you guys go ahead and introduce yourself? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
Hi.
Tell us about yourselves.
This is Corinne Mussington. I was part of class of 87 of the Keon High School, and I'm a part of CHS Best. You know, CHS Best is doing something that is an awesome, you give people their flowers while they're living, and also you pay respect to those who have passed. And so this is the way Keon High School Best has brought an idea to Fusion for the 2 days that we're planning. And so we're inviting all alumni. It's not just one group of people. It's all across the board from 1971 until today. So we're looking for, everyone to just come out, participate. We have house colors that we want to compete and see which house comes out more on top in wearing your colors. And there's lots and lots of prizes to be won. So we look forward to this event.
Awesome. So we have another person there. So could you introduce yourself? Let the persons hear your voice here at the studio and those listening.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Cypher Phillips. My association with Keon High School was initially as a teacher back in 1972. And eventually I became part of the, not only the teaching classroom teacher, but as a former principal as well.
Oh.
Keon High School exemplifies its motto, non multa sed multum. It's not about the quantity, but the quality. And later on, we're going to demonstrate to the persons who had the opportunity to serve at Keon High that is exactly what we have done. And Keon High School best, its purpose is to bring to the fore, probably not too well known by the public, that we are punching way above our weight. If I was to give one of the more recent examples, the more recent Prime Minister, the Honorable Timothy Harris, was a student at Keon High. Our present Governor General, Dame Marcella Liebert, was a teacher at Keon High. And we're going to name out some other personnel along that line. But we're not only looking at the academic side. We also want to show that there are other persons who may not have done well initially at Keon High, but since then have gone on to show the true colors and have done well. So that is by way of intro for me at this point in time.
Thank you so much. So tell us more about the activities that Mr. Blanchard.
Mr. Saifoy Philip, the previous speaker.
Yes.
Very humble guy. He did not mention he was a former principal of Keon High School. In fact, he was my boss when I started teaching at Keon High in 1989. I received an invitation to be a part of this group by Dr. Joycelyn Pennyfeather, Bertram's sister-in-law. And immediately, I became excited because I see this as a phenomenal event where it's not just one alumnus in terms of a particular graduating year. Is everyone, is being incorporated in this wonderful celebration. And so it's going to be an exciting affair, and things are already in motion to make sure that happens. And so we'll explain as we go along.
I just realized something, because earlier I was thinking, I didn't know Glenn was from Keon, but you just kind of half answered my question. So everybody's included, so even the teachers who weren't necessarily from Keon. So I guess that's what makes this a little different.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So I guess that's why it's CHS best, meaning you're including everybody in the pool, not just those. So it extends greater than the alumni association then. So yes,
Correct.
it's good to see that and hear that. Some of the activities that you guys have planned.
Yes. Some of the activities we have planned, or we're doing, it's free admission, actually, when everybody can attend. It's free admission, which we have people with, we have a session where we have representing your house colors at Keon High School, where you come with your T-shirt. We have T-shirts on sale, by the way, $50 for T-shirt, and you will get your house color T-shirt. So that means when you show up in your house color, we'll be able to have a competition with that. Also, a meet and greet, where we're going to have some booths set up where we're going to start from 1971 with when the school began to 1975, and we're going to have like 10 booths in your representative of what year you went to school. So you can meet people from when you went to school. And those people are very excited because they never had a chance. In 1971, they never had a chance to be able to have a reunion. And that is what we're providing to them, that everybody who ever went to school can come and have a reunion. We're also going to have a Hall of Fame exhibit for those people who have businesses out of high school. And we're going to have obstacle races. We're going to have an award ceremony, mini concert, and a lot of other stuff we're going to have going on there at these events. So what we're going to do also is the first 40 people who come there in their T-shirt, male, first 40 male, and first 40 female, and that is on Sunday. They come in their T-shirt, they're going to get in a special gift. That's on the Sunday, because the Sunday is the big day.
And Sunday, when you say Sunday, which Sunday? You mean this one?
29th.
29th. Okay, so it's the week after.
Correct.
Okay, so the 29th, Sunday the 29th is the time that you have to come, as you say.
In your T-shirt, the first 40, male and female, they get a special prize. Okay? Not leaving out the 26th, where we're gonna have the events at the school, also where we're gonna more involve the students. We're gonna have activities also from about 2 to 4, and
Okay.
then after 4 o'clock, we're gonna move to the place that does the karaoke. We're gonna further have our activities off of the school grounds, and we're gonna gather there and have some more activities right there.
So it sounds great. So, if persons are interested, just a nutshell, tell me the first activity, the date of that activity, and the location. First activity that they're expecting.
The first activities we're expecting, well, after the introduction and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're doing introduction. We got the Hall of Fame. That's on the 26th. Everyone can come there on the 26th at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and that's when the activities kicked off.
Okay, then.
The Thursday afternoon. And then...
So the 26th of October is the place to be at the Keon High School at
Keon High School
1:30.
grounds.
Yes.
Keon High School grounds.
Yes.
Let's not forget our alumni on the phone line.
Yes. Guys, those listening via those with us via the phone, anything that you want to contribute.
Yeah, could I just jump in here talking a little bit about
Yeah, go ahead.
the activities? Hello?
Yes. We can hear you.
Yeah, yes, I was saying that the activities are fun in nature because some of us are not past our best, but we have moved on to a higher level of betterment. Some of the games, for example, rather than having, say, 100 meters, we might have a 10-meter sprint or a 25-meter dash, that kind of stuff. Where they can contribute to the particular house. So at the end of the day, we will have a champion house based on the points accumulated over a period of time. So it's a number of fun type of lemon spoon and that kind of stuff that we're going to be having. But as Mr. Pennyford, our president, said, the idea is to give opportunity for the former students and alumni to meet and greet in their setting. In talking to some of our past students and teachers, they had never gone back to the school ever since they left. And so here's an opportunity to walk along and visit the classrooms they were in. But if I was just to give a little bit more background, because yes, we know the school started in 1971, but we, as Mr. Pennyfeather mentioned, we want to recognize those builders. Now, apart from the past principals, we've also identified 10 what we call pioneer teachers. In other words, when you call the name of a subject area or discipline, there are a number of teachers who were behind it all from the beginning. And so we are going to be recognizing 10 of those persons for that matter. We are also going to recognize 10 athletes. And again, for this event, and by the way, this is not a one-off event. We are hoping to have this on an ongoing, if not annual, close to that basis. So what we're doing here now is just the beginning of bigger and better things to come subsequently. That's very important to remember. So the first cohort of athletes, the 10 of them, we are going back from the very, very beginning. And I'm going to give you a couple of names associated with that. But I think pride of place goes to some of the founding, what you call the founding fathers. Most people don't know that the first two principals at Keon High were not even kitchens. The first headmaster was an Anguillian, Constantine Richardson. He was later associated with the Bastia Junior High and the then called Extramural Center. But he was the first headmaster. Mr. Bertram Hayes later on became a PS, second headmaster. He is associated with the school's motto, non multa sed multum. He was a former grammar school teacher And he brought that level of discipline to the school at an early stage, and would set the foundation on which subsequent headmasters, people like Sidney Osborne, Raphael Archibald, these are household names. And when people associate them, they think about other schools. I wouldn't even call the name of other schools. But those people got their beginnings at Keon High. That is why we say they were the best. It's no accident. And we are not surprised that, for example, that our dear governor is in that position. She has some of her groundings right there at Keon High as well. Our first female principal, she was Anguillian, Ivy Thompson. She's hoping to be there at this particular function as well. And the list goes on and on. I mean, we came right around full circle until one of the very students who went to Keon High emerged as a principal. His name is Francis Morris. He's right now our Chief Education Officer. He went through the system. So the point I'm making is that we now see that Keon High School, that tree that was planted back in 71, is bearing fruits now that it can sustain itself. And it fits into our world theme is that sustainability. Keon can sustain itself. And that is what this group, Keon High School, is bringing to the public, that we can sustain ourselves, or we have not arrived, because sustainability is an ongoing goal. It's not an end in itself. And just quickly, I don't want to exhaust myself on the program, but in athletics, and this is one of the cohorts, the people in athletics we want to highlight. Back in 1986, 10 kids went to its first Olympics. That's where most of us associate the Kim Collins, quite rightly. So, but do you know the largest contingent of our athletes came from Keon High School?
Interesting.
It's the best kept secret in the federation up to this point. But you're bringing it out. One of the persons involved right now in this group, a professional career accountant and attorney in New York City, Dr. Bernadette Prentice, one of the twins, her twin sister Beverly, was there. Nationally acclaimed Diane Dunrod was there. And I might add, with a bit of tongue in cheek, we're not claiming this person, but there's a young man then by the name of Ricky Haynes. Now, Ricky Haynes did not go to Keon High. He was part of the athletic team. But guess what? Ricky Haynes came to Keon High with his father, then the principal, Bertram Haynes. So at the very early beginnings, as a preschooler, Ricky Haynes was attending Keon High. And the guy went on, we're not claiming him, but I'm just saying, if you happen to come around Keon High, you got to be the best. The great George Yellowman Isaac, national footballer. Could I go on?
Yes.
1978 Caribbean MVP, netball champion, ever Penny Feather. The only Kittian to have been selected on the Caribbean team went to Keon High. The famous Watley family, arguably maybe the greatest family in track and field and sports in general, in any high school. I'm talking about Bernal Gumbs, Berlin Gumbs, Faith Watley, Big Life, Dougie. Even Infamous comes out of that family. All went to Keon High. Do I continue?
Yes,
But
you
I
may.
paused
Okay, then. Yes, yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Corinne.
Corinne?
Real history.
Yes.
Yes. So I just wanted to mention that Keon High School, our students stretched at that time back then from as far as Canada to all the way down in Parsons. I mean, now it's cut off because we have the Sadler's High School.
Yes.
But we are expecting persons from these areas who went to Keon High School, you know, to come out and enjoy the atmosphere. We're going to have tug-of-war, cricket match, three-legged race. And, you know, the T-shirts only cost 50 easy. Come on. You have to get your T-shirts just to come and represent. I mean, we could have cricket match, gold and blue house. Yeah, I look forward to seeing all the fun happening. I won't be there, but I'll be cheering on my guys, supporting them all the way from here.
Yes.
I would like to add, as Corinne mentioned about the T-shirts, I see our president, Bertram here, is representing Gold House. You know, and he promised to work with mines, but I haven't received mine as yet. Sorry, Orange House.
Yes.
Orange House, sorry.
Yes.
And what has happened is that for sports, there's no longer Orange House because, as Corinne mentioned, with the advent of Sadler's Secondary School, the numbers declined at Keon High.
So less houses.
And so, yes, less number of houses. But we'll still be repping Orange House. So all the Orange Houses, make sure you get your orange T-shirt and come out in numbers. It's going to be a little friendly rivalry.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So for those persons listening, what are the different colors? We have orange.
Orange house.
Blue.
Blue house. We have green house. We have red house and gold house.
Oh, so it's 5.
5 houses.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
how that's how many houses we had back then.
But it's down to how many now?
4.
Present 4? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the orange.
Red,
Scan.
green, and
Yeah.
gold.
Yes.
Red, green, gold. Oh, it's 3, but red.
No, we have 4. Red, green, gold, and blue house.
Blue house,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
So-
wow, awesome. You want to say something?
Yes. Just want to throw the phone number out there for anyone who want to order these T-shirts and who need any more information. Phone number is 869-665-5231.
Yes.
And on WhatsApp, you can also reach us at 302-598-3256 on WhatsApp. So we also accepting donations. Okay, we have Mo Banking with National Bank, and in the U.S. we have Bank of America, where we accept payment for PayPal. And we're doing awesome. We're doing awesome in terms of getting this thing go out, getting this word go out. We're gonna be
Our website.
Yes.
our website. Yes, is
Keon High School Best.
Keon High School Best, one word, .org. Keon High School Best.org.
Yes. So, guys, we just
We would also
go
like
ahead.
to thank persons who have been making contributions to this effort. There are many of them, but, you know, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Jew, who is the parliamentary representative for the area, have gave a hefty contribution, and so we are very thankful for that. And there are other persons who have come, you know, in kind as well. You know, President may wish to acknowledge some of the names, probably at this time or at another time.
Correct. We want to acknowledge Sonia Body, who has made this possible for us to be on the air here, and we're thankful for her. She's part of our Keon High School Best also. She's
Yes.
part of our team. And we want to give thanks to, shout out to Freights and Son Bakery. They help us in donation. We want to give shout out to, I think it's BH Construction in, actually he's in St. Thomas. And that's one of our first contributors to make a donation. And we want to shout out to Google, who is
Google
doing
Ads, yeah.
Google, right, who's doing our printing of
Gets
T-shirts.
nicer.
Right, gets nicer. And a number of others who we have, we're going to be mentioning on the website. We're going to be putting them on our website so that we can go there and see all those people who have contributed and doing more. So we're still waiting for more donations, and they're coming in.
Yes. So I want to say thank you to all of you for taking your time out and coming to the studio this morning, and those on the air as well via phone. I want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule and being here with us and informing us what the CHS Best has in store for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, before you go,
Thank
you guys,
you.
I didn't hear the motto clearly. What is it? The Latin motto?
Non
Could you say?
multa sed multum.
That's
Quality, not quantity.
Okay, I
Yes.
never knew that until this morning.
yes, that was the K on high. That is the K on high
High
school
motto, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, a nice motto. Yes.
Okay.
Quality, not quantity. Yes. Okay.
Okay, it's 1 minute until 9 o'clock. We have Farm Report coming up next. We have Troy outside, rearing and ready to go. Good morning, and have a nice day, our American friends.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Yes.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Captivating, entertaining, exhilarating. ECCB at 40 presents its Creative Arts and Island Night Festival. Happening on the grounds of the ECCB campus on Saturday, 21st October from 3 p.m. until 11. This event will feature vendors displaying local arts, craft, and products on sale, a children's recreation corner, a taste of the island's cuisine and culture, a well-stocked cash bar, outstanding performances by the staff, musical artists, cultural acts, and more. To attend, you must register online by Wednesday, 18th October. Log on to the ECCB website at www.eccbcentralbank.org and register today. It's an invitation by registration, first come, first served. So come on out to an evening of fun with your ECCB family. Excite your taste buds as we visit the islands, learn the history of the ECCB, and celebrate ECCB at 40 with food, drinks, entertainment, culture, and creativity. I'll see you there.
So when it's after 9 o'clock, the sound of Bruce Scarrett. And it's time for Farm Report. Troy.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
No watermelons today.
Why?
No fruit, no bananas, no plantains.
Unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
you were incorporated with the watermelon.
Just joking.
Yes. So we're here with Troy Flanders, and it's the Farm Report, and it's it's the edition October 18th, and it's good to have you in studio, Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many things to discuss as it relates to agriculture, and one thing that I want to ask you about is, there is the 25 by 25 that has been, been discussed numerous times, and how is your view on how we are getting to the 25 by 25? You think we are on the right track, the right direction?
Good morning to all the radio listeners. Good morning to everybody out there. Azard. Yeah, wait happy about Azard. Okay,
Yes,
no problem.
I figured we get right to it. You know, it had some, the cast out there is a bit overcast, but when I came in, I don't know why Jams are always looking. I never seem to think that it's not as sunny as it's sunny out there.
Azard, I could tell you this, right? We had the second launch of the 25 by 25 sometime in July.
Yes.
Right? And as I sit here today, I have no more knowledge of what's going on back then in July and now. So what I had known in July is the same thing I know now.
So there has been you're saying there has been no sense of anything done between that you know of from July and this July is the 7th month. This is what the 10th
I'm telling
month?
you, we're going into the 3 solid months since the second launch of the 25 by 25.
The second launch.
The second
when
launch.
was the first launch?
The 25 agenda was launched, I think it's 2020 or something there.
Okay then.
Right? So that was the second launch. And the consortium meet before the launch.
Yes.
Asking to partner with the government. Right?
Yes, I mean, good move. I mean,
Yes,
I think that's very good of the consortium to want to partner with the government on this initiative.
Yeah, because we are farmers. Is we who going to have to carry out this program, right? They had a launch without actually informing us. After we went to them.
After you went to them.
Yeah,
After you
asked to be partnering with them.
So you extended
yes
invitation of partnership.
Yes.
To the government.
To the government.
Okay then. And having done that, they still went ahead with the launch. Didn't invite us. So you didn't get any invitation by the government?
You mean
for the launch? The second launch that you're speaking about?
No. The launch that they had, we had asked to partner with them so we could know what it's all about.
Okay then.
So we could have helped to formulate certain things as part of the program. They refused that.
And why did you say that they refused it?
Well, if they didn't invite you.
Okay then. So there was no invitation
to partner with them.
No, there was no acceptance of the invitation. That's what I meant to say. There was no acceptance. And you said that there's no acceptance based on the performance, the way in which they didn't allow you to share the views.
They didn't. So what I'm saying again, right? We accept that. We move on. And as a consortium, we get together and we decide, well, since we have to carry out this thing, our group. The last time I was here, I speak on what we were doing as a group. We get our members together and we started to plant certain crops, which, Azard, they have a list of. So we choose to...
But in all due respect, I mean, the Minister of Agriculture was here and he spoke about the consortium being a small number of farmers. If I have the clip, I think it would reflect that he said that. So maybe it is that he felt that it's just a small group. But
well, and every farmer is a member of the consortium.
Yes.
But if you go out there, what the length and breadth of this federation, and ask other farmers if they consult with them, if they ask for their input, you'll get a no. So even though the consortium, as he wants to put it, is a small group, the larger group out there, they still haven't consulted with them. Right? Look at it. As we stand today, we have little knowledge of what's going on. Right? The PS, Mr. Fleming, before he became a PS, he was one out there champion the cause of what we're fighting for. He was one of the loudest voice out there for farmers to be included in decision making. Right? Miguel Fleming, the PS, he was one of the loudest voice. I get Miguel number from somebody because the consortium start before this administration. I call Miguel. We had discussions. Right? But now Miguel is in the chair as space.
Mm-hmm.
It got me frightened because I see a complete different person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the consortium was hoping that Miguel would have been the hope for the nation, the farming community.
Mm-hmm.
We was hoping to work alongside this guy. But why is this guy keep shunning us, pushing us aside? We keep asking for the voice.
Yes.
Week after week, month after month, we come here, we ask for the voice. We ask to be a part of it. And these guys refusing us. They're refusing us. There are so many decisions that they are making. And we could advise them on those decisions that they are making.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that the ministry is acting without consultation with the farmers? That's what you're saying?
The top-down approach is still there, it's still going on. Even though we come here and we talk about their top-down approach and how it's not working, it's not fitting for us, they are still doing it. You hear the PS and the minister speak about a greenhouse village.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you that the greenhouses are an island and they are preparing the land.
Yes.
I know where the land are that they are preparing, but yet they have some greenhouses on the island. But look at it. They have now sending out a tender for additional greenhouses without any conversation with anybody. They haven't erected one greenhouse. They haven't seen the greenhouse village in motion to know how we're going to work, if it's going to be effective or not. But here are you expanding something that you haven't proved our work.
But what would have been the rationale behind the greenhouses? Why do they feel that the greenhouses, you think? I mean, you're not in consultation with them because they don't invite you, but what would you assume?
Exactly. I cannot speak for them. I don't know what they are thinking. I can't get in their head. But I'm saying, right, if they are going into the greenhouse technology, we welcome that. Right? We welcome that, but have a conversation with people, and we could tell you probably one of the best way we could maximize the use of the technology. They don't have a monopoly on ideas. And the farming community is wide. You have people from different educational background and so people who are vast in other things, right? Who in the farming community. They are technical people who deal with phones and them. They were in the farmers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a wide array of talent within the
farming community.
Community, persons who are known. What I'm gathering from you is that there are persons who farm who might be even in other different
tech savvy people.
Yes, tech savvy and persons in different
disciplines. We got doctors farm, lawyers farm.
Yes, that's what I'm gathering.
We have teachers of farm. We have people who are accountants and other things. They farm.
And they too have a voice and they too have an opinion on what. They too ought to have a voice and an opinion that is shared, and a government that hears you. Mean
so
that's
now
what
you talk
saying?
about the government. It leave me, Troy Flanders, to wonder how serious are these guys taking us? How serious are they?
But there is the 25 by 25 agenda, which the government and the Ministry of Agriculture toots. So is it not that they are making all of this could be said to be in preparation for the 25 by 25?
Azard, last week I think they had the Caribbean agricultural meeting. I think it was in Belize or Bahamas, somewhere.
Yes.
Or one of those countries. Right? And you could see a picture circulating with our delegates.
Yes.
We had at least 5 top. We had the minister, the PS,
yes,
the director,
yes,
the deputy director,
yes,
and the I think it's the PS are the director from Navy.
Yes.
5 of them.
Yes, we could. Okay.
5 of them, right? 5 of them at that meeting.
Yes.
Right? And
okay, so we have a caller. We're gonna take it a short call. Caller, go ahead. We have about 30 seconds.
Thanks for taking the call. Okay, my brethren.
Good morning, sir.
Your guess. My brethren.
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing me? I'm not hearing you.
I said good morning, sir. That's Eli.
That's Eli here. Don't call me sir, please.
All right.
No, like that title.
Okay.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture gave me a call and told me that he wants to have an audience with me. I want for me and you, and maybe others of the consortium, to meet before that meeting with the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. Please to give me a call ASAP.
Okay then.
Okay?
Jamster, you could get the number, or you have his number.
Okay, sir.
Okay then.
Half year, I will give you a call.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Ras Eli, for calling and contributing. So we're going
as I was saying, at a round table discussion at the Caribbean agricultural meeting.
Yeah. Yes.
Our delegate had no input. They didn't raise one question. They didn't say one thing. There was mute.
Yes.
We have a delegation of 5 people there, and maybe more. At a round table discussion, everybody's talking about the 25 by 25 agenda and how they are progressing. You can tell me that the minister, the PS, the director, none of them could themselves ask one question to further our move. None of them could even share what they are doing here, because they can't do that, because we are doing nothing. We are doing nothing. You gone there, who paid for your trip? I hope it's not the taxpayers of St. Kitts Nevis, because you didn't went out there to represent us.
So who did they represent then, if not the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on this trip?
I mean, if you look at the photos, you could see who they were representing. If you take a look at the photo circulating, you could see who they're representing. It definitely not us. It's not us. You know? So we reach a point that I don't think our meetings with the minister and the PS and thing is going anywhere.
Well, Troy, based on what you're saying, it makes it seem as though these discussions are just for photo ops and opportunity to just engage and travel with no real substance or anything behind it. Is that what you're proposing?
What I'm asking is for the media, the reporters, and them to go, do your research, find out what's going on, and report to the people. They went and they come back. Have they report to the people? Has they tell the people what they went out there and do? And what come out of the meeting?
Did they make a report to you, the farmers who are in the industry?
No report to nobody. Look at the communication unit at the Ministry of Agriculture, the communication unit. They can't put out nothing because they don't get information.
Okay. And we have a caller. Caller, you have 30 seconds.
Yes,
Go ahead.
quickly. Good morning, Troy, and good morning, guys. Carl Brown here.
Yes.
What Troy is there saying? The minister, he's a waste. I have a project. You hear me talking about it all the time. I met with the PS of Sustainable Development. I met with all the agricultural people in all areas last year, December, at 3 meetings at agriculture. Explain my project to them. The people love it off. I went to a town hall meeting and met with the minister in Challengers. Tell the minister of my project. Ask the minister for a one-on-one meeting with him. You know what the minister tell me? He have 4,000 plus constituents and he have a lot of ministries. I said, well, minister, I make an appointment to see a one-on-one. He tell me he have 100 persons, constituents in front of me. He don't know when he could see me. And here what my project is. I want to open a deli, a drinks depot, and a small public market at Shadwell. Engage the minister, and the minister don't have no time for me. All the farmers loving it off. I wanted to buy fish, all conchs and all those things, buy fowl, buy rabbit and all kind of thing. They kill the meat, bring it to me. I will sell it to the other markets and things. The minister refused to meet with me. I even went to my representative, Miss Marsha Henderson. She refused to meet with me. I talked to Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe went on the end to hear what I'm talking about. I have met with Unity members because it started when Unity was in, over here and something. I applied, PSL come tour for land for sustainable development. When I go tour, she tell me don't sit down, she has no land to give me. But she love off the project when I discuss it in the meetings. Listen, agriculture is a joke, and that is why I tell you, if the minister don't come up with $100 million this year budget for agriculture, we could forget a 2025 thing.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. Wow. So we have someone who has also indicated that he tried to speak with the minister, and the minister said that he's too busy for him. He has over 4,000 constituents.
What I'm saying, I don't think that these guys have the interests of the farming community at their heart.
We have another call. Caller, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, real quickly, man. Good morning to you guys.
Yes.
So the caller there, Eli X, who's putting out the invitation to your guests, right? I don't know. The gentleman in Nevis that's named Banky, that's been successful out at the Indian Castle. I mean, while he's putting out the invitation, I want to just put this in and ask him if he could remember that guy to see if he needs to invite him as well. But anyway, man, I just want to ask a quick question. Why is the ministers them traveling so much and perpetrating that they're doing something underground? But in my opinion, I'm listening to your guest there. He's saying that the minister is not meeting enough with the farmers. We got to get serious with the farming, man, with the agriculture. We see what's going on with these events in the world. When the food stop coming, then we will starve. So that's my little input for now, man. And you guys have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. So go ahead, Troy.
As I get to the seriousness of these guys, I will say this today, that the frustration of the farming community, it might see people probably now going to the madhouse because the farming community is so frustrated.
But you have indicated, Troy, that they travel a number of times. You don't think that these meetings are productive? You're saying that these meetings are just...
They are not. Don't go too far with the question. I'm telling you off the bat. They are not, because you see no result from their travel. Right? I hope that the PS is still acting and not appointed.
We have another caller. Caller, you have 30 seconds.
Yes, good morning. I'm going to be quick as that. Chai.
Yes, sir.
You have to meet with Eli X, because everybody telling lies. This, all of a sudden, public business becomes money in a money box. We need information. We need to know what's going on in the country. Them things is not going to work. So please attend the meeting, Chai. And Azard, I was trying to get in earlier, because we want to know the truth about what happened up in United Nations meeting.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
We want to know who lady it is, leave the St. Vincent delegate where she was you understand?
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that jam down. Okay? We'll get into it. Right. Okay, then.
This country wants...
Yeah,
Okay.
As I was saying, it is becoming more and more difficult for the farming community to accept the minister and the PS as serious people. Their action is proving that they does not have our best interests at heart. Let me look at this thing, right? You go up, the Department of Agriculture and the ministry, there's a disconnect, right? The department is run from downtown, but you have a director of agriculture who's supposed to oversee the department, right? You have the permanent secretary, and if he have 3 persons in the entire ministry who when he get along, that's a lot. And it's affecting the farming community. There's total chaos in the ministry. It's affecting us as the farmers. And I'm calling on the Prime Minister to intervene in the ministry. He too will be held accountable for what happened to the industry. We are at a point, a boiling point. The consortium has been quiet for a while, you know. And it's because we are meeting with them, hoping that we could save the industry and hoping that we could move forward.
So I want to ask you, I want you to go back to something you said earlier. So you're saying that these guys went to a meeting, a 25 by 25 meeting, and you said that they didn't contribute?
It was the Caribbean agricultural meeting.
Uh-huh.
At round table discussion.
Yes.
When everybody discussing what they're doing for the 25 by 25, our guys was there playing on the phone and doing other things. Mute had no contribution to that meeting.
And Troy, how would you have known that? Because persons would have.
The meeting was carried live.
Okay.
The meetings were carried live.
And well, this meeting
They had feed that you could have go link and see the meetings.
Mm-hmm. And you realize that they were busy on the
Our
phone.
guys had no interest in what is going on in agriculture in St. Kitts. They are there while they're collecting a handsome paycheck a month time. The farmers are struggling to make ends meet. They are the ones who are supposed to help us. But they are only concerning about, if you check it out, every single week, some man of them off island.
Carlo, you're live. You have 30 seconds. You're on Island T Farm Report.
Good morning, Azard. Good
Yes.
morning to your guest.
Journey, you're going to be talking on the topic?
Mr. Gumbs, why are you asking me this? Why would I call?
Okay, go ahead.
No, try, consider this, right? With all the issue and heartache you guys been having pertaining to agriculture, have you ever asked yourself the question that maybe agriculture might be sabotaged by outside influence? Have you ever thought about this? We have to understand who we are up against, because a lot of things that are coming into our shores, the food that we are importing, have you asked yourself the question if they are sabotaging agriculture because of influence, or outside influence? Think about it, guys.
You want a quick answer? You want a quick answer to your question? If that is happening, that means that our guys are compromised.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, Journey. Thank you for your contribution.
You have a responsibility to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis who elected you. Your responsibility is to them, not outside influence. People just use the WTO rulings and all kind of thing as excuse.
But the 25 by 25, is it not a regional thing?
It is a regional thing, and that's why I'm saying that's the most heartbreaking thing. While the other countries are far ahead, we in the latter part of 2023 yet to get off the mark. We still warming up. We don't have on the line, the starting line. We warming up. We don't have a part of the race as yet.
Wow.
While Johnny talking about influence from outside, most people use the excuse of the WTO. I was told that our government could subsidize agriculture up to 10% of GDP. So what's stopping them? What is stopping them? In one meeting, we was told to make a case for agriculture. That could sound like people interested in us.
Wow.
I'm telling, listen to me. The consortium is fed up. And what I'm saying, we don't want to go down the road of protesting, you know. But we are warming up, you know. It is boiling. We taking on the 25 by 25 agenda, the consortium, with our group, using our own resources, without any aid from anybody, trying to make this thing happen. We have our farmers line up, planting. You could imagine, you have annuals, you have carrots, annuals. Go up the department and ask them, where are the carrots you have for the 25 by 25 agenda? Where are the carrot seeds? Where are them? You have onion annuals. Did you bring in any onion seeds for the 25 by 25 agenda? Where are them? You have tomatoes. Where are them? Where are the seeds for them? You have sweet peppers. Can you point to me that the seeds, you have the seeds are there for that agenda? Can you imagine that as farmers, every year, it becoming worse and worse and worse? You're talking about square pegs in round hole? Look at it. The marketing unit. Look at it. You brought in a marketing manager. Nobody had no consultation with nobody. And the first meeting, the marketing manager going to the people, I don't know anything about agriculture. Eh?
What you say?
And that was part of the criteria for the job. And the marketing manager
you have to have made a mistake. What you said about that?
The first meeting with people, I don't know anything about agriculture. That's the first thing the lady going to say to them. How are we going forward?
You know the saying that if it walks like a duck, it must be a duck. So
no.
With all this damning evidence, it has to be that they're really not interested in agriculture.
No, but I don't want to laugh about the situation, but I cannot believe that this would be a statement.
I'm not trying to be funny. Okay.
Sounds outrageous.
Look at this, this thing I have here, right?
Yes.
They appoint a guy, somebody, an agriculture planner.
Yes.
You take a command secretary out of office and put them as agriculture planner. Square pegs in round hole.
God, wow.
You take a guy who beat around, go in every department, and he is an agriculture officer. That guy who have little knowledge of agriculture is agriculture officer.
Well, I could sense your frustration if that is true. I could sense your frustration where you're frustrated in here because it makes it seem as though that the agriculture department, the minister and those who are in charge.
Everybody who tried to help this sector has been sidelined. You have advisors. If the media think that I'm crazy, I'm talking on the word. It's amazing how 30 minutes run.
Boy, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of another farm report.
I really think, I know we're pressed for time, but I think we could have at least a minute to do some a wrap-up, a farmer wrap-up to hit some of the points that you've been hitting, because this is really some interesting development.
Azard.
Yes.
I think, right, I'm going to leave it there until the other time because it's so frustrating. I want my pressure to simmer down.
Yeah, based on what we've discussed here, it seems like no plan for agriculture, 25 by 25.
No, they have a plan.
What's the plan then?
The plan is that those people is about them. You look at their faces. They look like, look at the farmer's face and their faces. You could see who agriculture working for. And I'm saying we cannot work with the PS. The PS has reached the end of the road. And if the powers that be are sensible, are smart, they will realize that this guy is dragging them down. The minister need to man up, stand up, take a stand. Maybe it's incompetence. Sorry.
Well, we definitely need a second dose of this discussion. So I really look forward to see what you have to say next week. The consortium here on Farm Report. Hopefully things are better. But from what you're saying, it seems like we're in serious times here as it relates to...
It's overdue. Agriculture is in the intensive care unit in a coma. You could see the vultures surrounding that unit. The vultures are in the ear surrounding that unit.
I want to say that we're getting a smart hospital, so perhaps.
Once you see the vultures in the ear, You know, they could detect the heart rate, the heartbeat. So
we're getting a smart hospital, Troy. So hopefully, even in ICU, that you'll recover.
Not only in ICU, because it could be in ICU and stable. They are in a coma. Okay,
you know,
that's really thanks again to Win FM.
Laughing is better than crying.
It is, because somebody said one time, right, that why you a response to why you laughing at a serious matter. The person said, "Well, if I don't laugh, I'll be crying, so I have to laugh. It's therapy." Yes. Wow. Thank you so much, Troy.
9:33. We got another segment coming up
Yes.
next. Stay tuned.
Nine 98.9 Win FM.
Get the drive with Lucozade Energy. Buy Lucozade and enter for a chance to win the grand prize of a Toyota Hilux. Plus, win up to 500,000 instant prizes, including Fitbit watches, GoPros, earbuds, Amazon gift cards, and free Lucozade. To enter, buy one of the Lucozade Energy promo bottles and look under the cap for your code. Enter it online or send it via WhatsApp, see press, and social media for details. Buy, win, and get the drive with Lucozade Energy today. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Mine 35, and we are back with our next guest.
Yes, and we keep the tea brewing here on Island Tea. So we have our next guest in the studio, and I am just going to allow our guest to introduce herself and tell us something about her, about herself. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Elziva Coffey, and I am an educator.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, Miss Coffey, why you here? White persons want to know why you here on Island Tea. Tell us.
Really, I am here because I think I have a short but important message to share about saving the youth in relation to their mental health.
Yeah, and we are aware that just recently, in October, the day was designated for the observance of mental health. In fact, that day persons were encouraged to wear green, and so it is still within the month of October, though the days are very quickly approaching the end. So I just want to say, it's still within the theme. We're talking about mental health, and mental health is not just only a discussion in October. It is a discussion that we need to have constantly, because mental health and being aware of where we are mentally is important.
Very important, yes. Okay. And this morning I choose to focus really on who we would call Generation Z. We know that is basically persons who were born between 1995, 1996, and 2010.
Yes.
2012.
The Gen Zs.
That's right. We call
The
them
Gen Zs.
And so we are talking persons between, say, 11 years to maybe late 20s, 27, 28, and so forth. And the studies have shown that that subgroup of persons have the highest increases in mental health disorders.
Wow.
Yes. And it might sound frightening, but we have to remember that when we talk about mental health, it could be something as simple as, say, depression, addiction, anxiety, stuff like that, and not the bigger ones that we would normally think about. But it is shown that those persons in that group do suffer a lot from mental health issues.
Wow. And why would you say that what are some of the contributing factors that are at play here?
Okay, that's an important question, Azard. And There are many, many of them. The data also shows that persons who are exposed to things like violence, abuse, poverty, that they are even more vulnerable to these mental health disorders. And if we look at our own society, we live in a society of violence. There is a lot of violence in our society, and it does have a negative impact on people generally, especially on the young persons. We have some amount of poverty with all of the social programs we have and everything else and so forth. There is still quite a bit of poverty. And as I said, the research shows that persons who are exposed to those things are at a greater risk of suffering from some of these mental illness. But we don't even have to go with abuse. There is also a lot of abuse in our society. It's in the home, it's in the church, it's in the general community. We see a lot of it in relationship. It's there. And our children, our young people live and work in these environments. So definitely it has an impact on the condition of their minds.
Wow. And we live it because we see where there has been, especially during these couple months, a real upsurge in violence, a real upsurge in the number of homicides. Just here in St. Kitts and Nevis, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're at number 23 for the year. Yeah. And it's really, as you can see, crime, violence, homicide, it affects us all. And it affects, as you were saying, the mental health of individuals, young persons, the Gen Zs.
Right. But, you know, sometimes I think as adults, we sometimes dismiss it, and sometimes we downplay the opportunities that exist for each one of us to play a part in supporting youth mental health. I really think we don't play that sometimes. You know, we have this notion, we say, you know, the young people nowadays, or the this or the that, and we are lots of time reluctant to intervene and to do certain things that can probably bolster or improve their mental health for fear of, you know, what might be said to us or about us.
Do you think, and we're living in the advent of also social media, where you have pictures displayed, you have persons able to express themselves even more freely, and at the audience is wide. So before you may have an opinion, and you share that opinion in a small setting, but you have the platform where that opinion can be shared throughout, and persons can see, persons can interact with people far more easily now. Persons can see the image of perfection and perhaps wonder whether or not they are there through the images that have been displayed. What is your thought on social media and the impact that it has on mental health?
Interesting that you should ask, is that I think my thought is really that we all agree it's very convenient, it's practical, it's helpful, it's good, it serves its purpose. But again, the studies do support that it can be very negative towards people in general, mental health, especially when we're talking about the younger members of society who might not have all the skills and the supports and so forth to know how to properly manage it. Then it can be even more devastating to them, okay? But we have heard stories of persons who are addicted to aspects of social media and what that looks like and how it translates into their regular, normal life. You know, not getting up to eat, you know, they're being called or, you know, called out to, yes, and they're not hearing anything because they're so deep in it. That cannot be normal.
Yes, and then you talk and I've seen research and articles that suggest, you know, there's dopamine. So when you deal with the social media, gives you this feel good. You post something and you get a like. If you don't get a like, you feel as though, well, maybe it is that what I said isn't accepted or well received, you know. And so when you're young and I could imagine going through those teenage times, I guess it's a platform too. And I often wonder whether or not, because, you know, I grew up when, you know, the computer was just getting in. I think in high school we started to use the computer. Was a fascinating thing. It's like, wow, we have a computer, you have this and that. But a lot of the Gen Zs, they have computer was there for them. They ain't they ain't even feeling this sense of awakeness where it is that, why we ain't had a computer back in my time when I was in primary school. But now I think laptops in schools now and everything like that, they have that. It comes at the fingertips, the social media, the Facebook, everything. And so it really is impactful. What do you think about parents? Do you think parents should look at what their young children are watching? Do you think that will make a difference?
Of course, most definitely, you know. Like I said, people generally maybe do not like to be told what they can do and cannot do. People generally do not like rules and regulations and structure, but we know that there's a good reason for them, you know. It helps to keep us safe and in line and, you know, all of that and so forth. So with all that children would say, or with all the different ways that they would protest, the truth is children really do need structure and boundaries. And one of the best placed persons to offer that to them as early as possible is parents and guardians. Because when they get into the formal school system, it continues. And it always amazes me. Sometimes you see small children, when they're around their parents, there's very little behavior. There's a lot of ill behaviors, okay? But when they're in the classroom, it's totally different because it is expected of them and the teachers enforce that sort of structure and the children learn to conform accordingly. Now, we know that social media too is an easy avenue to get to the mind of anybody. And once you are able to influence the mind of somebody, there's no telling what could happen, good or bad. And in social media case, it's usually bad, unfortunately, okay? So my advice really to parents, it might be hard, you know. They might be accosted, their children might say they hate them, you know, they don't love them and stuff like that. It would only last for a while. Children need to understand that there should be limitations and boundaries with everything. It's okay to tell a child, you know, you will be on your tablet for 2 hours a day. On the weekend, you can have 5 hours, whatever the case is. But either way, it's very, very important that parents give this sort of structure and boundaries to their children.
And, you know, now you're saying the 5 hours a day or on the weekend. I'm thinking that there are some parents who are probably so busy that they're saying, okay, then go play with your tablet, go do what you have to do, not monitoring because they want a little break. So they might even extend over the 5 hours that you speak just to say, okay, they want to rest, they want to make sure, because I could just imagine having a child on a tablet, they're quiet, but you're not able to see what engagement that child has on the platform.
And you are so correct, because very often in reality that is just what happens. As you say, you know, the parents are busy, they get caught up with what they do in one task to the next. There's never no end to that. You know how that goes, okay? And they forget their children there. Sometimes they rationalize it by saying things like, it's educational or it's nothing out of the way. Though that might be so, I am from the old school and I still believe that nothing beats books, okay? And again, studies have shown that for persons to spend so much time on these different aspects of social media, you know, it has an impact on their physical health. Vision-wise, their spine, their back, you know, their sitting, you know, being immobile for lengths of time and all of that. And it cannot be good for our children, for this generation or the one after. It just cannot be good.
Yes, interesting perspective. And then you think about the fact that we had a pandemic and we were basically confined for our own safety within our homes, where we could not traverse the road as we would like, as we were, confined in that space, whether it is with those who live with us.
Right.
And so imagine this generation, small children who perhaps who are already not interacting as often as persons within your generation. In that situation, we are now on the perhaps, I could just imagine even more greater exposure to the social media during that time, because parents would be on their tablets and their social media for their own for their own mental I want to say, because they have no other choice.
No other choice.
Yes. So it's very interesting to look at all of that. Yeah.
But again, that backdrop is that because, yes, this generation, they're so in tune, they're so, it's normal for them, this digital thing, social media, all of that. To me, that in itself gives us more of a reason to ensure that the young people get and build a lot on social interaction.
Yeah.
Because when we look at the way how the world is going, yes, we know it's AI and all of that and so forth, and everything is technology and, all of that. There is that element, the human element, that will not be replaced or cannot be replaced totally. At some point in time, our young people in general, will need to understand how to interact with persons, how to deal with persons, who are experiencing different things, how to properly express themselves. And those are things that they would not easily learn just from being on social media, but more so by practicing it actively, being engaged in it with somebody else, face-to-face conversations with others.
One of the concerning things about the way we interact with each other with the advent of social media, and so for example, even you go to a bar, let's say you go to Vibes Bar and you see 5-6 people sitting at a table, and everybody's on their phone, and that's usually a bad sign. The people might not see it as a bad sign, but it's like we are socializing, but at the same time, there's still this distance between us, because you're sitting now. Even sometimes you see a couple and they're on their phones. And so I always make a conscious effort. And I remember my wife pulled me up one time, right? One time we sat out to eat and I pulled up my phone because I think I was, and she said, you see, and she's a psychologist, right? So, she's thinking. So she said, you see that we're here eating and you're pulling up your phone, and and because since that, I always make a conscious effort that when we're having family time.
You have family time.
Yes, have family time, not phone time, not screen time, yeah. And I think a lot of us need to do, I think a lot of us need to not let the phone take over our lives.
It can be very consuming.
Yeah.
It can be, if we're not careful, yeah.
And that's an important point that was brought up. I honestly believe a lot of time that is part of the problem. People are not aware that it is inappropriate, that it is not the best etiquette to be doing that until it is brought to their attention.
Yes.
So that again is, I think, a way in which we as adults, people who've been there, done that, can help to save this young generation. We need to stop being silent or being afraid of what others would say, and just share and let them know what is expected, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate, and things like that. And in the long run, some persons would be thankful for it.
Yeah, definitely. And I encourage persons to, if you have if you want to weigh in on the topic, it's your opportunity to call in. You can hear your opinion. You could, give us some feedback, some thought as to what you think about this generation, what you think about mental health on a whole, and just share some insight. So we have with us, for persons who are just joining, could you repeat your name?
Elziva Coffee.
And your background.
My background is in education and guidance and counseling.
Awesome. And so we're looking this morning, we have been looking at, mental health. It's important discussion, because I think a lot of persons, when you talk about mental health, it's one of taboo. No one wants to speak about it.
I was just about to ask you a question, but we have a call. So,
okay, yes.
Island T, go ahead.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Jamster.
Oh, hey, go ahead. We're hearing you loud and clear.
Fraternal morning greetings to you, Jamster, Brother Azard, and
yes.
Sister Coffee. And good morning to listeners every day. Just to entail on something that you're discussing about the mental health. There was a meeting within a consultation take place in Marriott about a month or so ago, 2 months to be precise. And what was come out of that discussion is towards the mental health pattern in what we are facing on here, not just in St. Kitts, but the world in particular. Is how we're going to entail to guide those who are facing those kind of troubles, even on the aspect of the disability. So, if you're the part of that discussion, Sister Coffee. Were you a part of that?
No, I was not.
Well, I think you should have been, because you say the educator. So that should have been in your field, because these are some of the methods who enhance in the discussion. Especially we had two people who was able to come out bold and emphasize about towards that challenges that we face within mental health. Now I would like to say, and I'm calling on the permanent secretary who is in the Ministry of Health, that we need to formulate the discussion in the way that was said in that 2 days consultation over Marriott. So I hope that you can reach out to the permanent secretary, that they can give you some good details in what was formulated and that way, so we can have committees going forward to share the information that need to be shared properly, because you are doing a good work here, but you need more strength. So I hope that these things are to our people, because we need this year to stage that we don't force the people them who are facing it, but guide them to reenact into society as a part of development in the human rights. Because mental people who facing mental health have a right in just the society alone to contain and say, oh, they're in a good stage. You don't know that unless you treat them the proper way that they're supposed to relate. So I bring that there on the floor. My name is Azard, and I was a part of that consultation, and I think we should supposed to have this discussion every day, because we really need to address it properly. Give thanks.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much, caller. Yes, mental health, that is the discussion here at this moment on Island T. Very important discussion. We need to all be able to check ourselves too, because sometimes we are carrying such different tasks, and we have to ensure that, you're checking, you get time to at least breathe and say, I could take a little breather here now and again. We have a call? Or
No. Quick question. What pertains in schools now? When the kids get to school, do they have to turn their phones off, or do they have to hand them over to? How does that work?
I think in theory, what is supposed to happen, children are not supposed to be using their phones in school. Give and take, I think different schools might have different ways to actually police that or regulate that. Some might allow children to have them on, because we have to face it too. It can be a very good and practical way to enhance the lessons, depending on what the teachers are doing. So I think across the board, it might vary.
Okay. We have a call. Let's squeeze in the last call. Caller, go ahead. I'll be brief.
Yes, good morning, Miss Coffee, and good morning to the good people of WIN FM. Miss Coffee, in terms of mental health, where we are seeing around Bastille and the outskirts, in town especially, by the roundabout there, the crop, when these people get sick, they end up in town. And it's time now that we get a group of young men to help the institution down by way where they got vehicles, you put them in a uniform just like them where they call them up the hospital. And they move around and recognize them and just take them and carry them for the medication because there's where we're falling down, you know. And it's the mental health, it could happen to anybody. It's a serious thing around Bastille. No, millions spending all over the place, you know. And these things that should be happening, especially in 2023, going in hard in 2024. They're seeing them, me like ask questions, you know. Years now, almost 3 years under the farmer government, I've been saying it. We need to get some young men who are around town, active, good body, go to the gym, healthy, and give, you want about 8 to 10. If you can't afford it, you drop it to 6, and you go as you go. Come on. But you see, when you got young pregnant to a hole, you can say, let me be. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. Yeah, we have 1 more minute remaining on the program. So, Miss Coffee, could you give us, your early parting words?
Sure. What I would say is what I would frame as an all of society approach to helping to support youth with respect to their mental health. We do not want to wait until we have a barrage or tons of people on the street, as the last caller said, who are with these advanced stages of mental disorders. We want to avert that. So we are saying each one of us individually in our different spheres based on our relationship and involvement and engagement with youth, and we have them in our families, in our communities, in our churches, and our workplaces. We see them when we go to the supermarket. They're all around us. We interact with them regularly. And we are saying that one of the things I would like us to do is to, as much as possible, first of all, we have to try to build a positive helping relationship with them. And we have to ensure that we are genuine. We do not want to act as if we need them or we are interested in them and we are supporting them because we are thinking of what they can do for us. Okay, I need help with my project. I'm not into the IT and so forth. They can help me. So let me act as if I'm really their friend. No, because people do sense when we're real and when we're genuine or when we're faking it. So we want to ordinarily build a close, genuine relationship with them. Having that background or that foundation, it puts us in a better position to be able to impact them positively. Okay? The other thing, we cannot underestimate the power of prayer. One of my favorite scriptures says in Psalms 28, I think, it says, "A seed shall serve him, and it shall be accounted to him." That's God we're talking about. For a generation. So we hear about the generation X, Y, Z, all sorts of generation. Now we are down to generation A. But as far as I'm concerned, the Word of God says, in spite of how it looks with all of these young people, all the negative things, I am convinced that not all is lost. So I am very, very optimistic and hopeful that there are some who will come that we will be very, very proud of. So we cannot underestimate the power of prayer. We need to pray, and we need to pray fervently. And when we pray, we also need to believe in the powers of our prayers. But in addition to prayer, we also have to do. Find ways, find means that we can truly impact them and impart to them these important supports and life skills and mindsets and so forth, because that is what it is really about. Lots of time, people are not coping well with stress and anxiety and depression and relationships and all of those other things because they do not have the skills to enable them to do that. They're not self-aware, all of those other things, they just don't have it. And I'm saying many of us, we are in a position to impart those things to the young, so we should see it as a personal responsibility, I dare say mandate to do that.
Okay, I think that's an excellent note to end this morning's program. I want to say thank you to everyone who listened, everyone who commented, everyone who called. I just want to say continue to have a pleasant day, and do have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, God's willing. Island T.